If you are currently experiencing a 3D that feels stuck, it's not moving anywhere, and it's starting to get frustrating, we need to talk. The 3D is a trap. It's a trap, and everyone falls into that trap at one point or another, even the more experienced conscious manifestors. And the reason is simple. It's because when we manifest something consciously, the only reason we are doing it is to experience it in the 3D. Let's be real, no one starts manifesting an SP just to experience that in their imagination and that's it. We all do it in order to have it in the 3D, experience it in the 3D, not just SP, the money, the health, obviously, and everything else. So at some point we want it to happen in the 3D. But when it's not, and we start noticing it, it gets frustrating, and that's where it's a trap. And I want to talk about how to either not fall into the trap, maybe next time, or to get yourself out of it. Just so you know, no matter how bad your feeling state might be, currently you might have spiraled down, all your focus might be on lack, and it feels like you can't get yourself out of there. You can. There's always a solution to that. And no matter how bad the 3D looks, you can always start from where you are and still end up getting your manifestation. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before I start, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, comment and like, and do all that good stuff, and share the channel with people that you think might benefit from it. And let's get into the topic. So if you are already frustrated with the 3D, the chances are that you have been focusing on it for some time. And that is the trap. You see, when you start focusing on the 3D and your manifestation is not there, you fall into the trap of focusing more and more on it, hoping that next time you look into the 3D, you will find your manifestation. And on one of my latest videos, I had someone ask me, what do coaches mean when they say, I think the person asked, don't expect something to happen in the 3D. You have to expect it to happen in the 3D without focusing on the 3D. And this is the big distinction here, because, and if you are new to manifesting, this is actually a good place to start so that you understand the dynamics of the mind and the 3D and the relation. Your 3D, no matter what it is already a manifestation of your current state, which is your old story. It's your whole belief system around that situation. It's your assumptions. It's the things that you keep repeating in your mind. That manifests into the 3D. So if you are looking in the 3D from your current state, it's obvious that it's the current state that's reflecting back to you. And the 3D is technically never really stuck because manifestation doesn't stop. You never stop manifesting. It's continuously, continuously flowing. You're continuously manifesting. So when the 3D is not moving, it's only because we are continuously manifesting the same situation. And how are we manifesting the same situation? By focusing on it. So when you start consciously manifesting a different situation, you start doing your techniques, you start affirming, keeping your mental diet, and doing all the good stuff in your mind. When you start wanting evidence from the 3D before you yourself are ready, that is the trap. That is it's tempting, but that's where you get evidence from your senses that what you want is not there. So the risk is that you get yourself back into the state of lack. Oh, see, it's not happening. See, it's not moving. See, maybe I'm not good at manifesting. And whatever else you might tell yourself. It's that you start jumping to conclusions based on the 3D, and now all of a sudden all your focus is on the 3D. The solution here is different things. One thing that I have tested, and it actually works wonders, is it's after you start noticing that all your focus is on the 3D. By the way, at some point, when you keep doing that, at some point, it becomes your affirmation that the 3D isn't moving because you repeat it so much. So it's like, it becomes like, really like affirming, but affirming for what you don't want to have. Like the 3D is not moving. Oh, it's not moving. It's not here. Where is it? It's been such a long time, etc., etc., etc. So now you're affirming that the 3D is not moving. So what you do, the remedy for this is to do the opposite. Tell yourself the 3D is moving. Of course the 3D is moving. I am seeing a lot of movement in the 3D. And start focusing on those thoughts without figuring out how it would look like when the 3D starts moving. Your mind doesn't know what's true. Your mind only knows what you tell it. So when you start telling that the 3D is moving, it's a little relief. But that is not, that's just a way of getting yourself out of that state, like a quick thing to do. The main thing to do here is, first of all, to remember, and this is for all those of you who are, for example, manifesting specific people, and you have the person in front of you, you want a different version of them, but they are still their old version, they behave the way that you don't like, etc., etc. So the thing to remember here is nothing and no one in the 3D can change before you change. And if you're taking anything out, anything from this video, let it be this. The 3D, the people in the 3D, your money situation, your health, your SP, your whatever you are manifesting can't change before you change. Because everything is a reflection of your state, your beliefs, etc. So what to do? You need to stop what you're doing, and when you start focusing too much on the negative, on the lack, etc., you lose focus. You lose focus and you lose the sense of your mental work that you are doing. So stop it, and even if you have to force yourself to stop it and move inside, do it. I don't like the word force in manifestation. Manifestation doesn't happen forced. It's not, I admit that's not the best word to use, but this is, and I think I might have mentioned this in a different video, this is the one place that I would suggest you do it. It's to get yourself out of the negative state so that you can focus on the positive state and move there. So this is the one place. If you have to force yourself, do it. But stop whatever you're doing. Close your eyes, go inside, start imagining your desire already true. Start experiencing it in your imagination. And the hardest part of this is to get started. The most difficult thing here is to get started, to just do it. And don't start questioning if you're imagining it correctly, if you're using your mind correctly. You're using your mind the way you're using your mind. That's enough. You don't need to imagine the way I imagine or the way someone else imagines. You don't even need to think of it as visualization or a conversation or etc. Don't try to make it perfect right away. Your job here is to get started. So you go inside your imagination and you start, however you do it, experiencing your desired reality in your imagination. What this does is, this is what you need to do to manifest, basically. This is all you need to do. But what it does is that it removes your focus from the 3D. The way the way that you focusing on the 3D removed your focus from your inner reality. So now you're doing the opposite. So I hope that made sense, by the way. And you will notice that the more you do this, the less powerful the 3D is going to feel, the less frustrating it's going to be, the less frustrated you are going to feel, and the more powerful you are going to feel. You are coming closer and closer to that reality that you want to experience. And the only remedy is to experience it in your imagination. The more you do this, the more you are going to rehearse that state of having it, and the more it will start moving in the 3D. So don't fall into the trap of focusing on the 3D before you, I want to say before you're ready, but actually when you are ready, and what I mean by that is that you live in the state of the wish fulfilled. When you are in that state, you are completely unbothered by the 3D. You don't care about the 3D. You might even notice that, yeah, it's not what I want, but who cares? This is, it starts feeling like random, weird, not worth focusing on, because you are in the state of knowing that your desire is yours. So you are completely detached from the 3D. This is another word that I don't use as much because the word detachment is used as a technique, as something that you need to do on purpose. That's not something you do on purpose. That's a result of the work that you do. It's the result of you saturating your mind with your desire. You naturally become detached from the 3D. You don't care. So this is what you need to do. And something else also, when you are about to again start focusing on the 3D, that it's not moving, etc., first of all, just stop right there. Go inside. Every time, stop there and go inside. And pay attention to your natural thoughts. They are telling you what state you are in. That's a great indicator of whether you have changed or not. When I say you have to change, it's your stories, your automatic stories that need to change. That is you here. So if your automatic thoughts are still worrying, thinking everything that means that it's not there or your person is not here yet, etc., then what to expect from the 3D? That, exactly that. So there's nothing in the 3D for you here. Go inside again and correct that. Tell the story the way you want to experience it. Pay attention to what you are telling your friends, for example, friends, family, whomever you're talking with about this topic, if you're talking with people. What do you tend to want to tell them? What is the thing that naturally comes to you when you want to text your friend and tell them about something? Is that how annoying the person is? Is that how bad you feel about it? Is that all your fears around money, then that's your story. Unless that changes, the 3D can't change. So when you start focusing on the 3D from that state, the 3D is going to reflect back to you that state exactly. And I know that for those of you who are very experienced with manifesting, I'm not saying anything revolutionary, but it's a good reminder. It's a good reminder that you need to stop it. Stop whatever you're doing. When you're finished with this video, close it. Sit and imagine your desire. It doesn't have to take a long time for you. It doesn't have to take your all day. If you do that all day, that's wonderful. But that's not necessary. Do it for a minute. You can take time, and you can also not do that, by the way. I don't do that usually. Just a few moments. Take a few moments for yourself to enjoy your desire. That will put you in the state. And your job is to come back to that state. Whenever you can, whenever you remember, whenever you want to, whenever you notice your mind is going in the wrong direction. So, and the more you do that, the more you are going to attach yourself to that desire. And I read something from Neville a few days ago. I don't remember what lecture it was, what book it was. He says you need to detach yourself from your current circumstances and attach yourself to your desired outcome. And attachment has been demonized in the manifestation community, but the word detachment is also used for your desire. You don't detach from your desire, otherwise you don't desire it. So, and this process of doing this exercise, you can even take it as exercise, that you don't focus on the 3D, you focus on your desire. That is going to exactly detach you from your current circumstances and attach you to your desire. And that is what you need. You need to either stay there or to come back to it as much as you possibly can, as much as it's comfortable for you, without making it become a full-time job. It needs to be pleasant, and it is pleasant when you experience something that you want. Whether it's in your 3D or in your imagination, it becomes pleasant. You start wanting that feeling the more you do it. And when it becomes about feeling that feeling, because it's pleasant, it feels so good to experience your desired outcome. You keep wanting to do it more, and you do it more, and that's the recipe for manifestation. So this is what I had for you today. And I, again, just like in every video I make lately, I don't mean to talk this much, but this is important. It's important to know for you that just because the 3D is not good, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that you have been manifesting that in the past. Leave it there. Leave it alone. You don't need that. What you need is your imagination, and that's also where your power is, not in the 3D. And that is also why when you focus on the 3D, you feel powerless. You don't have power in the 3D. You have power in your imagination, and your imagination has the power over the 3D. And I'm sure this is very comforting for you to know or to hear again and again. Your imagination has all the power over your physical circumstances. So, and you have it with you at all times wherever you go. Use it. Please use it. So this was it for today. I really hope that this was encouraging for you and inspiring for you to keep going and do it in the way that is controlled by you. And once again, subscribe to the channel and share it with people that you think might benefit from it, and see you in the next video.